2 packs here.
Oh, we got it. Oh, souls, dude.
Bro, pulled the 2 packs.
Chat, clip
Soul
this.
said he wanted it.
Chat.
Shit, there's a lot of numbers.
It works.
This is a good amount of numbers right here.
All right, it works. We've built it. We've tested it. We've proven it. The Pillar of Fire spam is real. The Fire Mage is viable. And you guys keep asking, what's the exploit? What's the bug? What's the hack? Whatever. How are we making this thing work the way it does? And today I'm going to show you the secret sauce of what makes the Pillar of Fire an instant cooldown. I'll show you a little bit more about my fire build if you guys are Fire Mage enthusiasts and you're curious. And I'll give you the basic rundown of what makes this spec so much fun to play. All right. Now, we're just going to jump right into it. But first and foremost, probably the most important part of this build is going to be an ability called Refreshing Pillar of Fire. Now, there's a few ways that you can get this piece. It is a resource that you can use in crafting to get this ability, which will reduce the ability's cooldown by 14%. The percent vary. It's not always 14%, but it's fairly close. It'll reduce the ability's cooldown by 14% per enemy hit with Pillar of Fire. So that's the real trick to this, is getting either 2, 3, or more people grouped up enough for Pillar of Fire to hit enough times to reduce that 10-second cooldown down to 0. All right? That's the main secret formula for the Pillar of Fire spam. Now, if you want, you can have gear crafted with it in there. You can farm it. There's a few pieces of gear that do drop with the Refreshing Pillar of Fire perk. One of which is a staff that I'm still farming myself, but it's probably going to be one of the better pieces to get once you hit level 60. I'll show you guys right here. We'll just do perks. Refreshing Pillar of Fire right there. And you can see the list of where you can actually get this perk off of drops out in the world. This one right here drops off of a boss in Reekwater down in the southeast side. I'll let you guys find that, or we'll do it in another video later on. But for the sake of this video, you can actually get a staff with it built right into it. You got 14% per enemy hit with Pillar of Fire built in right there. That's a great one to go for. I, however, for the sake of the testing of the ability, went to the trading post, and I got a piece of gear that was already made or found with Refreshing Pillar of Fire built into it. All right, and what that's going to do, basically, is when you cast Pillar of Fire, when you hit somebody's feet with it, you notice it went from 10 seconds down to 6 instantly. We'll do it again. So as soon as you hit it, you saw it kind of accelerate that timeline down. Now, the more people you hit, or the more times you get Pillar of Fire to hit people, it will reduce that ability down, just like you saw at the clip at the beginning of this video. Okay, that's the main secret sauce to this. Now, there's some more stuff that goes along with the Firestaff build itself. This is my build that I'm running. I've got Pillar of Fire all the way down the tree to give it 40% more damage of foes at full health. That way, if you're starting out an attack, you can lead with Pillar of Fire. You're going to gain 10% of your max mana per enemy hit by Pillar of Fire, which is also kind of crucial, because if you're going to be casting Pillar of Fire over and over and over and over again, you need to make sure that you have the fuel to light that fire. I also went with Fiery Restoration, which gives your heavy attacks, which will reduce the Firestaff's cooldown by 10% on hit. So if you cast Pillar of Fire in a group, you still have 5 seconds left, you can cast a heavy attack, and it'll boost that thing down again. Down to 5. Throw a heavy attack, and you virtually can cast it again. All right. Now, if you don't have Refreshing Pillar of Fire, you can always just go with that perk, and you can lower your cooldown that way. But you definitely want Refreshing Pillar of Fire. The next piece that I went with is Clear Mind, which if you have above 50% mana, you get increased damage. So that's going to be another big piece of the puzzle. The rest of it is pretty straightforward. This is crits with Firestaff, causes burning. If you haven't taken damage, you deal 10% more damage. You are going to want clear casting. Your abilities get 15% increased chance to critical strike. That's huge because you're going to be casting that over and over and over. Heavy attacks no longer consume mana. That's also a big piece of the puzzle, considering you're going to be using heavy attacks to reduce your cooldown. And then while you're holding a Firestaff, you get crit damage increased by 20%. And then Rune of Helios is a good thing to have just as a generic DPS boost. In this tree, there's not really anything, but I'll show you guys. While you're holding the staff and below 50% max health, you can get a damage boost. So if you have a healer that you trust a lot, if you can tell them, hey, I'm below 50, don't heal me, you can get a little bit of a boost there. 20% actually is pretty significant. This is for Fortify. This makes the burning last longer, and then this is Burnout behind my camera. I just got all 3 points in Burnout. I got Burnout, All In, and Heated Up, just because you need that as a Fire Mage, of course. You're going to need that just to get around the world in general. All right, now the second piece of this puzzle that's a little bit trickier to do is keeping your tank full while fueling this fire. Meaning, how do you keep your mana full so that way you can continue to cast Pillar of Fire? Now, we've already shown you the weapon ability, Arson's Advantage, which gives you 10% of your max mana per enemy hit by Pillar of Fire. That'll keep your mana full, but there's other ways that you can do it as well. First thing is you could go all out in intelligence, at least to this 4th bubble right here. This is 10 mana after a dodge. This is a 2-for-1, because one thing that you're going to want to do when casting Pillar of Fire is a dodge mid animation. That's going to give you the ability to cancel the animation, and it's also going to give you the ability to get your mana back and be able to cast your heavy attack to get the cooldown reduced and get mana back. Now, I'll show you what I mean by that. You're going to cast Pillar of Fire, and you're going to dodge mid-animation. So cast, dodge. My mana is full automatically. I got the perk from the Pillar of Fire hitting an enemy, which gave me mana back. The dodge gave me mana back, and it also reduced the cooldown of your Pillar of Fire. So it's kind of a 3-for-1 if you think about it. So you're going to cast Pillar of Fire, dodge, gives you the damage, gives you the mana, and it reduces your stamina. Now, the third piece and why the stamina reduction is important for me is because I am running an Opal Gem. This Opal Gem gives you Gambit, which gives you 15% damage while your stamina is not full. So you're able to stack even higher on why this Pillar of Fire spam is so enjoyable. All right, so on top of the fact that you're getting reduced cooldowns, increased damage goes along with that. All right, so that's the main secret sauce to the entire build, is getting refreshing Pillar of Fire so you can cast it, dodge canceling the animation to reduce your stamina, giving you mana back, and reducing the cooldown of Pillar of Fire so you can spam it over and over and over and over and over and over again. The damage is so enjoyable and satisfying to see all those numbers just back to back to back to back to back. When you get in mobs and you can just spam Pillar of Fire, it feels so good. So good. And just something you can just rub this in those hatchet users' face, man. All these great axe enthusiasts just sit back and just spam that Pillar of Fire right on top of them. Just doosh, 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 doosh. And just enjoy it. All right, now the last thing I want to leave you with is the rotation that I've optimized for my Firestaff build and what I find yields the most fire DPS in single target and even AoE mobs. First things first is I always lead off with Pillar of Fire, mainly because the ability First Strike gives you 40% more damage on top of the 134% weapon damage that you get. So I always lead off with Pillar of Fire, and what I'm going to do is Pillar of Fire, animation cancel to get my stamina below 100 to give me the increased damage from my staff's gem. Remember the brash. And then I am going to directly lead into Fireball, but I'm going to cast a heavy attack before I do that. And every time that my abilities are on cooldown, I'm going to fill the gap with heavy attacks. Okay, so I'll show you what that looks like. So first we're going to lead off with the Pillar of Fire, dodge to animation cancel. I always do a heavy attack and then a Fireball. And I'm monitoring my stamina bar to make sure that it's below 100 as often as I possibly can. So we're casting, leading off with a Fireball, Pillar of Fire, back to the heavy attacks. You notice we almost always have abilities that we can cast, and if we don't, we're just filling the gaps with heavy attacks. It feels so good. It's clean. I'm trying to stay in my rune the best that I can, keep my stamina bar low. And boom. Now, there's You can switch to medium armor if you really want to. There's a lot of things that aren't really explained in this game until you really like stumble across them. One of which is the light armor, heavy armor, medium armor, perks and stuff like that. If you hover over this right here, I don't know if you guys knew this, but I'll throw it in. Light armor gives you 20% bonus damage and healing. Medium armor gives you 3 dodges, but it reduces your damage to 10% instead of 20. Same thing with healing, and then heavy, so on and so forth. I'll let you guys read up on that. I personally like light, but I do toy around with the medium armor because it gives you 3 dodges, makes it a little bit easier to manage your stamina while you're in a fight. So you can toy around with that. Let me know if you guys like light armor or medium armor better in the comments down below. And that's it, man. That is the secret sauce to the Fire Mage, man. That is how I get the most DPS that I do. I make the spec a little bit more enjoyable, so you're not just doing a left-click simulator, excuse me. And yeah, if you guys found enjoyment in that, if you guys want to hit the like button, it helps out the video a ton. If you guys want to subscribe for more future New World content, please do so. And let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you want to see new builds, if you want to see other weapons integrated as secondary weapons with this build, let me know. And as always, we stream live over on Twitch. You can come hang out, twitch.tv/iLangston. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys get some mad DPS. And we'll see you on the next one.